This is Pope Pool 2013, and it's now time to meet the cardinals participating in this year's conclave. Our first cardinal is Jean-Louis Turenne, president of the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue. Born April 3, 1943 in Bordeaux, France, he was educated at the Gregorian University with a doctorate in canon law. Ordained to the priesthood in 1969, he was consecrated bishop in 1991 by Pope John Paul II. He was created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of October 21, 2003, and confirmed in the office of protodeacon in 2011. Next is Fernando Filoni, prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples. Born April 15, 1946, he went to study at the Pontifical Lateran University in Rome, earning a doctorate in canon law and also a doctorate in philosophy at La Sapienza in Rome. Ordained a priest on July 3, 1970, he was consecrated to the episcopacy on March 19, 2001. He was created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Next is Rafael Farina of the Salesian Society of Don Bosco, archivist and librarian emeritus of the Holy Roman Church. Born September 24, 1933, he entered the congregation of St. Francis de Sales of St. John Bosco at the novitiate in Portici, Bella Vista at age 16, professed final vows in 1949 and perpetual vows in 1954, earned the doctorate in ecclesiastical history in 1965, ordained a priest in 1958 and a bishop in 2006. He was created cardinal deacon in 2007. Attention, this is a papabile alert. Peter Turkson, president of the Pontifical Council Justitia et Pax. Born October 11, 1948 in Ghana, he was educated at the Pontifical Biblical Institute in Rome, where he earned the doctorate in sacred scripture in 1992. Besides English and his native Fonte, he also speaks French, Italian, German, and Hebrew fluently. Ordained to the priesthood on July 20, 1975, he was elected Archbishop of Cape Coast October 6, 1992, and consecrated the following year. His episcopal motto is Vivere Christus Est. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. The first cardinal from Ghana, he participated in the conclave of April 2005, which elected Pope Benedict XVI. Peter Turkson is widely regarded as the greatest African hope to take over the successorship to St. Peter. Peter Turkson. The next cardinal is Timothy Dolan, Archbishop of New York. Born in 1950 in St. Louis, he studied at the Catholic University of America, where he obtained a doctorate in American church history. Ordained a priest in 1976 for the Archdiocese of St. Louis, was elected a titular Archbishop of Natchez and appointed auxiliary of St. Louis in 2001. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Next is Raul Vela Chiriboga, Archbishop Emeritus of Quito, Ecuador. Born January 1, 1934, he entered the major seminary of San Jose in Quito, where he studied philosophy and theology. He was ordained to the priesthood on July 28, 1957, and elected titular bishop of Asafa and appointed auxiliary bishop of Guayaquil April 20th, 1972. Consecrated May 21st of that same year, he was created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 20th, 2010. Next is Antonio Maria Veglio, president of the Pontifical Council for the Pastoral Care of Migrants and Itinerant Peoples. Born February 3, 1938 in Italy, he went to Rome to study philosophy, theology, and law at the Lateran University. He was ordained a priest on March 18, 1962, and elected bishop and consecrated in 1985. He was created cardinal deacon in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Our next cardinal, Manuel Monteiro de Castro, serves as the penitentiary major. Born March 29, 1938 in Portugal, he studied at the Gregorian University, earning a doctorate in canon law. He was ordained a priest on July 9th, 1961, and elected titular Archbishop of Benevento on February 16th, 1985, consecrated the following month. He was created Cardinal Deacon in the Consistory of February 18th, 2012. Cardinal Giovanni Lagiola, President Emeritus of the Pontifical Commission for the State of Vatican City and President Emeritus of the Governatorio of the same state. Born in 1935 in Novara, he went to the University of München, where he earned a doctorate in canon law in 1965. Ordained a priest in 1960, he was elected to the bishopric in 1988 and consecrated the following year. He was created Cardinal Deacon in the Consistory of November 24th, 2007. Next is Cardinal Francesco Monterisi, Archpriest Emeritus of the Papal Basilica of Santo Paolo Fari Le Mura. Born in 1934, he was educated at the Lateran University, earning doctorates in theology and in canon law. He was ordained to the priesthood on March 16, 1957, and elected a bishop in 1982, consecrated the following year. He was created a Cardinal Deacon in the Consistory of November 20th, 2010. Next is Cardinal Carlo Caffarra, Archbishop of Bologna in Italy. Born June 1, 1938, and educated at the Gregorian University, receiving a doctorate in canon law, he was ordained a priest in 1961 and elected Archbishop of Ferrara Comacchio on September 8, 1995, consecrated a month later. His episcopal motto is Sola Misericordia Tua. He was created a cardinal priest in 2006. Cardinal Gabriel Zubir Wako is the Archbishop of Khartoum in the Sudan. Born in 1941, he studied theology at the Pontifical Urbanian University and obtained a licentiate in pastoral theology there in 1971. Ordained a priest in 1963, he was elected Bishop of Wau in 1974 and consecrated in 75. He was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003, and is the first ever Sudanese cardinal. Cardinal Crescenzio Sepe is the Archbishop of Naples. Born in 1943, he received a doctorate in theology and licentiate in canon law at the Lateran University and a doctorate in philosophy at La Sapienza University. Ordained a priest on March 12, 1967, he was elevated to the bishopric in 1992. His episcopal motto is In Nomine Domini. Created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of February 21, 2001. Cardinal Sepe. Next cardinal is Ivan Diaz, Prefect Emeritus of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples and Grand Chancellor Emeritus of the Pontifical Urbanian University. Born in 1936 in Mumbai, he was educated at the Lateran University with a doctorate in canon law. Ordained to the presbyterate on December 8, 1958, he was elected Archbishop in 1982. He was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 2001. Next in order is Cardinal Anthony Okoji, Archbishop Emeritus of Lagos in Nigeria. Born June 16, 1936, he was sent to the Pontifical Urbanian University in Rome, where he obtained a licentiate in theology in 1966. Ordained to the priesthood on December 11, 1966, he was elected titular bishop of Maschila and appointed auxiliary of Oyo in 1971. He was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. The next cardinal is Zenon Grocholewski, Prefect of the Congregation for Catholic Education and Grand Chancellor of the Pontifical Gregorian University. Born in 1939 in Poland, he was educated at the Gregorian University, receiving a doctorate in canon law. He was ordained to the priesthood on May 27, 1963, and consecrated a bishop in 1983. His episcopal motto is Illum Oportet Crescere. He was created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of February 21, 2001. Next is Cardinal Antonio Cañizares Llovera, prefect of the Congregation for Divine Worship and the Discipline of Sacraments. Born in 1945 in Valencia, he received the doctorate in theology from the Pontifical University of Salamanca. He was ordained to the presbyterate on June 21, 1970, and elevated to the dignity of bishop in 1992. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of March 24, 2006. Our next cardinal is Malcolm Ranjith, Archbishop of Colombo, Sri Lanka. Born November 15, 1947, he did postgraduate studies at the Pontifical Biblical Institute in Rome, obtaining a licentiate in sacred scripture. Fluent in 10 languages, he was ordained to the priesthood in 1975 at St. Peter's Square by Pope Paul VI. Consecrated a bishop in 1991, he was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of November 20, 2010. Cardinal Carlos Amigo Vallejo of the Franciscan Order of Friars Minor is Archbishop Emeritus of Sevilla, Spain. Born in 1934, he left the medical faculty of Valladolid to join the Order of Friars Minor. He was ordained to the priesthood on August 17, 1960, and elected Archbishop of Tangier, Morocco on December 17, 1973. He was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. Next is Cardinal João Braz de Avis, prefect of the Congregation for the Institutes of Consecrated Life and the Societies of Apostolic Life. Born in 1947 in Brazil, he was educated at the Lateran University, receiving a doctorate in dogmatic theology. Ordained to the presbyterate on November 26, 1972, he was elected Bishop of Flenjekla and appointed Auxiliary of Vitoria in 1994. He was created Cardinal Deacon in the consistory of February 18, 2012. We have another papabile alert. It's Angelo Bagnasco, the Archbishop of Genoa in Italy. Born February 14, 1943, he studied at the State University of Genoa, where he earned a doctorate in philosophy in 1979. Before that, he was ordained to the priesthood on June 29, 1966, and then elected Bishop of Pesaro in 1998. He was consecrated and took the episcopal motto Christus Spes Mea. Promoted to Archbishop when the diocese was elevated in rank in 2000 and transferred to the See of Genoa in 2006. Created Cardinal Priest in the consistory of November 24, 2007. This is Cardinal Bagnasco. Another papabile alert. Cardinal Angelo Scola, the Archbishop of Milan in Italy. Born November 7, 1941, in that archdiocese, he abandoned his engineering career to take up study at the Catholic University of the Sacred Heart in Milan, obtaining a doctorate in philosophy in 1967, and then a doctorate in theology at the University of Fribourg. He was ordained a priest in 1970 and elected bishop in 1991. His episcopal motto is Sufficit gratia tua. He was named Rector Magnifico of the Lateran University and President of the Pontifical John Paul II Institute for Studies on Marriage and Family. He was promoted to the Patriarchate of Venice in 2002, receiving the pallium that year from John Paul II. He was created Cardinal Priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. In September 2004, he founded the Oasis International Studies and Research Center to promote better relations between Christians and Muslims. He was transferred to the Metropolitan See of Milan on June 28, 2011, and became Archbishop of that Ambrosian Church on September 9th of the same year. He is the odds-on favorite to become Pope. Next is Cardinal Luis Martinez Sistach, Archbishop of Barcelona, Spain. Born April 29, 1937, in Barcelona, he was educated at the Pontifical Lateran University in Rome, receiving a doctorate in both canon and civil law in 1967. Ordained to the priesthood in 1961, he was elected bishop in 1987. His episcopal motto is Caritas Christi Urget Nos. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 24th, 2007. Cardinal Roger Mahony is Archbishop Emeritus of Los Angeles. Born in Hollywood in 1936, he received the doctorate in social work from the Catholic University of America. Ordained a priest in 1962, he was elevated to bishop in 1975. His episcopal motto is "To Reconcile God's People." Promoted to the Metropolitan See of LA in 1985, created a cardinal priest in 1991. Removed from administrative and public duties by Archbishop Gomez earlier this year. Next is another American, William Levada, Prefect Emeritus of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. Born in 1936 in Long Beach, educated at the Gregorian University, receiving a doctorate in sacred theology. Ordained a priest in 1961, he was elected a bishop in 1983. He succeeded to the Metropolitan See of San Francisco in 1995 and named Prefect of the Holy Office in 2005. He was created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of March 24th, 2006. Papabile alert! Cardinal Peter Erdo is Archbishop of Budapest in Hungary. Born June 25, 1952, he was educated at the Lateran University in Rome, where he obtained doctorates in theology and in canon law. He was ordained a presbyter on June 18, 1975. He was elected bishop on November 5, 1999, and consecrated January 6th of the following year in the Patriarchal Vatican Basilica by Pope John Paul II. His episcopal motto is "Initio non erat nisi gratia." He was promoted to the Metropolitan and Primatial See of Budapest on December 7, 2002. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2005, receiving the red biretta and title of Saint Balbina on that same day. He was elected president of the Hungarian Episcopal Conference for a period of 5 years in 2005 and is one of the top contenders to replace Pope Benedict. Next is Cardinal Stanislav Dziwisz, Archbishop of Krakow in Poland. Born in 1939, he was educated at the Pontifical Faculty of Theology at Krakow, earning a doctorate in theology. He was ordained a priest in 1963 by then Karol Wojtyła. He was elected bishop in 1998 and consecrated that same year. He was promoted to the rank of archbishop in 2003 and transferred to Krakow in 2005. Created a cardinal in 2006. Next is Cardinal Angelo Amato of the Salesian Society of Don Bosco, prefect of the Congregation for the Causes of Saints. Born in 1938, he entered the Salesians in 1953, professing final vows in 56, earning the doctorate in theology from the Gregorian in 1974. Ordained a priest in 1967, he was consecrated a bishop by John Paul II in 2003. He was created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of November 20th, 2010. Next is Cardinal John Tong Han, Bishop of Hong Kong. Born in 1939, he received the doctorate in dogmatic theology from the Urbanian University. He was ordained a presbyter on January 6, 1966 by Pope Paul VI. He was consecrated a bishop on December 9, 1996, and his motto is Dominis Pastor Meus. He succeeded to the See of Hong Kong in 2009 and was created cardinal priest on February 18, 2012. Cardinal Francesco Caccio Palmerio is the president of the Pontifical Council for Legislative Texts. Born in 1938, received a doctorate in canon law from the Gregorian University and a doctorate in jurisprudence at the Catholic University of Sacred Heart in Milan. Ordained a priest in 1962 by Cardinal Giovanni Battista Montini, he was created a bishop in 1993 by Carlo Maria Martini. He was created cardinal deacon in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio of the Society of Jesus is Archbishop of Buenos Aires, Argentina. Born December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, he obtained the diploma of technician in chemistry before joining the Society of Jesus on March 11, 1958. He became professor of literature and psychology before becoming ordained to the priesthood on December 13, 1969. He was then elected provincial of Argentina on July 31st, the feast of St. Ignatius, 1973. He was elected titular bishop of Auca and appointed auxiliary of Buenos Aires on May 20th, 1992, and consecrated on June 27th of that year. His episcopal motto is Miserando atque elegendo. He succeeded to the Metropolitan See of Buenos Aires on February 28, 1998. He is the Grand Chancellor of the Catholic University of Argentina and was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 2001. It is widely reported that he finished second to Cardinal Ratzinger in 2005's balloting. Cardinal Thomas Collins is Archbishop of Toronto, Canada. Born in 1947 in Ontario, he earned the doctorate in theology at the Gregorian University in 1986. He was ordained a priest on May 5, 1973, and elected coadjutor bishop of St. Paul in Alberta in 1997, consecrated that same year. His episcopal motto is Deum Adora. Transferred to the Metropolitan See of Toronto in 2007, he was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Cardinal Angelo Comastri is Archpriest of the Papal Basilica of St. Peter in the Vatican, Vicar General of His Holiness for the State of Vatican City, and President of the Fabric of St. Peter's Basilica. Born in 1943 in Italy, he was educated at the Lateran University, receiving his licentiate in theology. He was ordained to the priesthood on March 11, 1967, and consecrated bishop in 1990. His episcopal motto is Deus Caritas Est. He was created cardinal deacon in the consistory of November 24, 2007. Cardinal Raymond Burke is prefect of the Supreme Tribunal of the Apostolic Signatura and of the Court of Cassation. He was born on June 30, 1948 in Wisconsin and received the doctorate in canon law from the Gregorian University. He was ordained June 29, 1975 by Pope Paul VI. He was consecrated bishop on January 6, 1995 by Pope John Paul II, and was created cardinal deacon in the consistory of November 20, 2010 by Pope Benedict XVI. Next is the great Karl Lehmann, Bishop of Mainz in Germany. Born in 1936, he received doctorates in both philosophy and theology, summa cum laude, from the Gregorian University in Rome. He was ordained to the priesthood on October 10, 1963, and was assistant to Father Karl Rahner of the Society of Jesus. He was elected Bishop of Mainz and confirmed by the Pope in that role in 1983. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 2001. Cardinal Jean-Claude Turcotte is Archbishop Emeritus of Montreal, Canada. Born in 1936, he received the licentiate in theology from the Major Seminary in Montreal and was ordained to the priesthood on May 24, 1959. He was consecrated a bishop on June 29, 1982, and his motto is Servir le Seigneur dans les joies. Promoted to the Metropolitan See of Montreal in 1990, was created cardinal priest in 1994. Cardinal Sean Brady is Archbishop of Armagh, Ireland. Born August 16, 1939, he received the doctorate in canon law from the Pontifical Lateran University in Rome and was ordained to the priesthood in 1964. He was consecrated bishop on February 19, 1995, and his episcopal motto is Jesum Christum Cognoscere. Succeeded as Metropolitan Archbishop and Primate of all Ireland in 1996, he was created cardinal priest in 2007. Cardinal Jorge Urosa Savino is Archbishop of Caracas, Venezuela. Born August 28, 1942, he received the doctorate in dogmatic theology from the Gregorian University in 1971. He was ordained a priest in 1967 and consecrated a bishop on September 22, 1982. His motto is Pro Mundi Vita. Promoted to the Metropolitan See of Valencia in 1990, he was created a cardinal priest in 2006. Cardinal Wilfrid Fox Napier of the Franciscan Order of Friars Minor is Archbishop of Durban, South Africa. Born in 1941, he joined the Order of the Friars Minor in 1960 and was ordained to the priesthood on July 25, 1970. He was consecrated bishop on February 28, 1981, and his motto is Pax et Bonum. Promoted to the Metropolitan See of Durban in 1992, he was created cardinal priest on February 21, 2001. Next is Cardinal André Vinctois, Archbishop of Paris, France. Born in 1942, he received a licentiate in moral theology from the Institut Catholique de Paris and was ordained to the priesthood in 1969. He was consecrated a bishop on October 14, 1988. His motto is Sic enim Deus delecta mundum, and was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of November 24, 2007. Cardinal Telesfore Tapo is Archbishop of Ranchi in India. He was born in 1939 and received a licentiate in theology from the Urbanian University in Rome and ordained to the priesthood in 1969. He was consecrated a bishop in 1978 and succeeded to the Metropolitan See of Ranchi in India in 1985. He was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. Cardinal Domenico Cagnano is president of the administration of the patrimony of the Apostolic See. Born in Genoa in 1943, he received the doctorate in sacred theology from the Gregorian University and was ordained to the priesthood in 1967. He was elected Bishop of Savona-Noli in 2002 and consecrated that same year. He was created Cardinal Deacon in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Cardinal Cagnano. Cardinal Nicolas de Jesus Lopez Rodriguez is Archbishop of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Born October 31, 1936, he received the doctorate in social sciences from the Pontifical Institute of Santo Tommaso de Aquino in Rome. Ordained a priest on March 18, 1961, he was consecrated a bishop on February 25, 1978. He was promoted to the Metropolitan and Primatial See of Santo Domingo in 1981. He was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of June 28, 1991. Cardinal Dominic Duka of the Order of Preachers is Archbishop of Prague in the Czech Republic. Born April 26, 1943, he secretly entered the Order of Preachers, the Dominicans, in 1968, and in 1979 obtained a licentiate in theology. Ordained to the priesthood on June 22, 1970, he was consecrated a bishop on September 26, 1998, and promoted to his current see in 2010. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Cardinal Franck Rodet of the Congregation of the Mission is Prefect Emeritus of the Congregation for the Institutes of Consecrated Life and the Societies of Apostolic Life. Born in 1934 in Yugoslavia, he entered the Lazarists in 1952 and made perpetual profession in 1957, received the doctorate in theology in Paris in 1968 and ordained to the priesthood in 1960, consecrated a bishop in 1997, and was created cardinal deacon in the consistory of March 24, 2006. Cardinal Sean O'Malley of the Capuchin Order of Friars Minor is Archbishop of Boston and was born in 1944 in Cleveland. He entered the Capuchins on July 14, 1965, and he received the doctorate in Spanish and Portuguese literature from CUA. He was ordained in 1970 and consecrated bishop in 1984, promoted to the Metropolitan See of Boston in 2003, and created a cardinal priest in 2006. Many regard him as America's great hope. Cardinal Philippe Barbarin is the Archbishop of Lyon in France. Born in 1950 in Morocco, he received the doctorate in philosophy from the Sorbonne. He was ordained to the priesthood in 1977 and consecrated a bishop in 1998. His episcopal motto is Qui soit un? Promoted to the Metropolitan See of Lyon on July 16, 2002, he was created cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. Cardinal Tarcisio Bertone of the Salesian Society of Don Bosco is the Secretary of State and the Camerlengo of the Holy Roman Church. Born in 1934 in Italy, he entered the Salesians and made religious profession in 1950, receiving the doctorate in canon law from the Athenaeum. Ordained a priest in 1960 and elected archbishop in 1991, he was created cardinal priest in 2003, became Secretary of State in 2006, and named Camerlengo in 2007, was promoted to the order of cardinal bishops and the title of suburbicary in Sia Frascati in 2008. Cardinal Kurt Koch is president of the Pontifical Council for the Promotion of Christian Unity. Born March 15, 1950 in Switzerland, where he earned a doctorate in theology in 1987 and obtained the habilitation in 1989. Ordained a priest in 1982, he was consecrated bishop in 1996 and promoted to his current rank in July of 2010. He was created cardinal deacon in the consistory of November 20th, 2010. Next is Cardinal Francis George of the Oblates of Mary Immaculate, Archbishop of Chicago in the United States. Born January 16, 1937, he joined his religious order in 1957. He received the doctorate in philosophy from Tulane University and the doctorate of sacred theology from the Urban University in Rome. Ordained a priest in 1963, he was consecrated a bishop in 1990. He transferred to the Metropolitan See of Chicago in 1997 and was created a cardinal in the consistory of February 21, 1998. Cardinal Velasio de Paulis of the Congregation of Scalabrinians is President Emeritus of the Prefecture for the Economic Affairs of the Holy See. Born in 1935 in Italy, he entered his congregation at a young age and made perpetual profession in 1958. He received a doctorate in canon law and a law degree from La Sapienza. Ordained in 1961 and consecrated a bishop in 2004, he was promoted to the rank of archbishop in 2008 and created a cardinal in 2010. It's time for a papabile alert. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, Archbishop of Manila in the Philippines. Born in 1957 in Manila, from 1987 until 91, he studied theology at the Catholic University of America in Washington, where he obtained a doctorate in theology summa cum laude, and wrote the dissertation under Father Joseph Kamanchak on the development of episcopal collegiality at Vatican II. Ordained for the Archdiocese of Milan in 1982, he was a member of the International Theological Commission from 1997 until 2002. He served for 15 years on the editorial board of the Bologna-based History of Vatican II project, founded by Giuseppe Alberigo. He was elected Bishop of Imus in 2001 and consecrated that same year. His motto is Deus Est. Promoted to the Metropolitan See of Manila in 2011, he took possession of that see on December 12th. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 24, 2012. He is one of the most popular figures in world Catholicism and a familiar face on the Filipino national television scene. Since 2008, each week he participates in the religious broadcasting of The Word Exposed with meditations on the Sunday Mass readings. Next is Cardinal Mauro Piacenza, prefect of the Congregation for the Clergy. Born in Genoa in 1944, he obtained a doctorate from the Lateran University in canon law. He was ordained a priest in 1969 and consecrated a bishop in 2003. Named secretary of the Congregation for the Clergy and promoted to archbishop in 2007, prefect of that congregation in 2010, and then created cardinal deacon in November of 2010. Cardinal George Alenkery is Archbishop Major of Ernakulam and Galmali of the Syro-Malabars in India. Born in 1945, he earned a higher diploma in Bible studies and a doctorate in theology conjointly from the Sorbonne. Ordained in 1972, he was elected first eparch of Thessaly of the Syro-Malabars in 1996, consecrated in 97, and elected Archbishop Major, his current position, on May 24, 2011, which the Pope confirmed the following day. He was created cardinal priest in 2012. Next is Cardinal Vinko Puljic, Archbishop of Verboznia, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Born in 1945 in Yugoslavia, he received his education at the minor and major seminary in Đakovo. Ordained in 1970, he was consecrated a bishop in 1991 by Pope John Paul II. He was created a cardinal priest on November 26, 1994. This is Cardinal Vinko Puljic. Cardinal Antonio Maria Rauco Varela is Archbishop of Madrid, Spain. Born August 24, 1936 in Spain, he received his education in Germany, where he earned a doctorate in canon law in 1964. Ordained a priest in 1959, he was consecrated a bishop on October 31, 1976. Promoted to the Metropolitan See of Santiago de Compostela in 1984, he was transferred to his current see in 1994. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 1998. Cardinal Ruben Salazar Gomez is Archbishop of Bogota, Colombia. Born in 1942, he received the licentiate in dogmatic theology from the Gregorian University. Ordained in 1967 to the priesthood, he was consecrated a bishop in 1992. He was promoted to the Metropolitan See of Barranquilla in 1999 and transferred to his current see in 2010. Created a cardinal priest in the consistory of November 24, 2012. Cardinal Beccara Boutros Rey of the Maronite Order of the Blessed Virgin Mary is Patriarch of Antioch of the Maronites in Lebanon. Born in 1940, he entered his order and received the licentiate in theology and a doctorate in canon law from the Lateran University. Ordained in 1967, he was consecrated in 1986 and canonically elected 77th Patriarch of Antioch of the Maronites on March 15, 2011, and confirmed the next day. He was granted Ecclesiastica Communio and created Cardinal Patriarch of the Consistory in 2012. This is Cardinal Donald Wuerl, Archbishop of Washington, D.C. Born in Pittsburgh in 1940, he received a doctorate in theology from the Angelicum and was ordained a priest in 1966. Consecrated a bishop in 1985 by John Paul II, he was promoted to the Metropolitan See of Washington in 2006. His motto is, "Thy kingdom come." He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 20th, 2010. This is Cardinal Paolo Sardi, patron of the Sovereign Military Hospitaller Order of the St. John of Jerusalem, of Rhodes, and of Malta. Born in 1934, he received the doctorate in canon law in 1963. Before that, he was ordained a presbyter in 1958. He was consecrated a bishop on January 6, 1997 by Pope John Paul II. His motto is Caritas Omnia Sostinet. Created a cardinal deacon in 2010, he was named to his current position on November 30th, 2010. This is Cardinal Willem Jacobus Eyst, Archbishop of Utrecht in Holland. Born in 1953, he studied medicine and finished his courses in medicine after entering the seminary, obtaining the doctorate at the University of Leiden. Then went to Rome and obtained a doctorate in moral philosophy at the Angelicum. He was ordained a priest in 1985 and consecrated a bishop in 1999, promoted to his current see in 2007. He was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of February 18th, 2001. This is the Archbishop of Mexico City, Mexico, Cardinal Norberto Rivera Carrera. Born June 6, 1942, he received the licentiate in theology from the Gregorian University in Rome. He was ordained a priest on July 3, 1966 by Pope Paul VI. He was consecrated a bishop on December 21, 1985, and his motto is Lumen Gentium. He was promoted to his current see on June 13, 1995, and created a cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 1998. This is the Archbishop of Warsaw in Poland, Kazimierz Nitsch. Born in 1950, he was ordained a deacon by Cardinal Karol Wojtyła. doctoral studies at the Catholic University of Lublin in 1981, earning a doctorate in catechetical studies. Ordained a priest in 1973, he was consecrated a bishop on June 4, 1988. His motto, Ex hominibus, pro hominibus. Promoted to his current see in 2007 and created a cardinal on November 20th, 2010. Papabile alert! It's Cardinal Gianfranco Ravasi, President of the Pontifical Council for Culture and of the Pontifical Commissions for the Patrimony of the Church and of Sacred Archaeology. Born in 1942 in the Archdiocese of Milan, he was educated at the Gregorian University, obtaining a licentiate in sacred scriptures, and spent summers in Syria, Jordan, Iraq, and Turkey working as an archaeologist. Ordained to the priesthood by the late Carlo Maria Martini in 1966, he was consecrated a bishop by Pope Benedict XVI in 2007. He was created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of November 20th, 2010, and preached the Lenten 2013 spiritual exercises to the Pope and Roman Curia. Cardinal Ravasi. Cardinal Dionigi Tettamanzi is Archbishop Emeritus of Milan. Born March 14, 1934, he received the doctorate from the Gregorian University in theology. Ordained in 1957 by Giovanni Battista Montini, he was consecrated bishop by Cardinal Carlo Maria Martini. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 1998, and was transferred to the Metropolitan See of Milan on July 11, 2002. He retired from the Ambrosian Church in 2011. Cardinal Francisco Robles Ortega is Archbishop of Guadalajara, Mexico. Born March 2, 1949, he received the licentiate in dogmatic theology from the Gregorian. He was ordained a priest in 1976 and consecrated a bishop in 1991. His motto, In Simplicitate Fidei, promoted to the Metropolitan See of Monterrey in 2003. Created cardinal priest in 2007 and transferred to his current Metropolitan See in 2011, taking possession of it 1 year later. Cardinal Giuseppe Bertello is president of the Pontifical Commission for Vatican City-State and of the Governatorato of the same state. Born in 1942 in Italy, he obtained a licentiate in pastoral theology and a doctorate in canon law. Ordained in 1966, he was consecrated a bishop in 1987. On September 3, 2011, he was named to his current position and assumed the offices on October 1, 2011. He was created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Cardinal Severino Poletto is Archbishop Emeritus of Turin, Italy. Born March 18, 1933, he received the licentiate in theology at the Accademia Alfonsiana of the Lateran University. Ordained a priest in 1957, he was consecrated a bishop on May 17, 1980. He was promoted to his current Metropolitan See in 1999, and finally created a cardinal priest at the consistory of February 21, 2001. Cardinal Basilios Tatonkal, Archbishop Major of Trivandrum and the Syro-Malankars, India. Born in 1959, receiving the doctorate in ecumenical theology at the Angelicum in 1997, he was ordained a priest in 1986 and consecrated in 2011. He was unanimously elected Archbishop Major in 2007 by the Syro-Malankar Church. He was confirmed in that role by Pope Benedict and assuming the name Basilios Klimis. He was created cardinal priest of the consistory of November 2012 and the first cardinal of the Syro-Malankar Rite. This is Cardinal Juan Sandoval Iñiguez, Archbishop Emeritus of Guadalajara, Mexico. Born in 1933, he received the doctorate in theology from the Gregorian University, was ordained to the priesthood in 1957, and consecrated a bishop on April 30th, 1988. His episcopal motto is Servus. He was promoted to the Metropolitan See of Guadalajara in 1994 and created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 26, 1994. Cardinal José da Cruz Policarpo is Patriarch of Lisbon, Portugal. Born in 1936, he received the doctorate in theology from the Gregorian University. Ordained a priest in 1961, he was consecrated a bishop on June 29, 1978. His motto is Per obedientiam ad libertatem. Promoted to Archbishop Coadjutor of Lisbon with right of succession in 1997, he succeeded in 1998. He was created a cardinal priest on February 21st, 2001. Cardinal Santos Abril y Castello is Archpriest of the Papal Liberian Basilica. Born in 1935 in Spain, he obtained a doctorate in social sciences at the Angelicum and a doctorate in canon law at the Gregorian. Ordained a priest on March 19, 1960, he was consecrated a bishop in 1985. His motto, Pro Ecclesia cum Petro. On January 22, 2011, he was named Vice Camerlengo of the Holy Roman Church, and to his current position on November 21st of that year. He was created Cardinal Deacon in the consistory of February 18th, 2012. This is Cardinal Reinhard Marx, Archbishop of Munich and Freising, Germany. Born in 1953, he completed a doctorate in theology in Germany and was ordained in 1979. He was consecrated a bishop September 21st, 1996. His motto, Ubi Spiritus Domini ibi libertas. Promoted to his current metropolitan see on November 30th, 2007, and created a cardinal priest in the consistory of November 20th, 2010. Cardinal Joachim Meisner is Archbishop of Cologne in Germany. Born on Christmas Day in 1933, he received a doctorate in theology in 1969 from the Gregorian University. 7 years earlier, he was ordained a priest. He was consecrated on May 17, 1975. His motto, Spes nostra firma est pro vobis. He was transferred to the See of Berlin in 1980. Created a cardinal priest in 1983 and later promoted to his current metropolitan see on December 20th of 1988. This is Archbishop John Njue, Archbishop of Nairobi, Kenya. Born in 1944, he earned a licentiate in pastoral theology at the Lateran University in Rome. Ordained a priest in 1973 by Pope Paul VI, he was elected the first bishop of Embu and consecrated on September 20th, 1986. Transferred to his current metropolitan see in 2007. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 24th, 2007. This is Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, Prefect Emeritus of the Congregation for Bishops and President Emeritus of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America. He is the presider at the conclave. Born in 1934, he earned a doctorate in canon law at the Gregorian. Ordained a priest in 1957, consecrated a bishop in 1987 by John Paul II, and named to his final position in 2000. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 2001 and promoted to the order of cardinal bishops and assigned the title of Suburicarian See of Sabina Poggio Mertirte in 2002. This is Theodore Adrien Sarr, Archbishop of Dakar in Senegal. Born in 1936, he received a licentiate in classical languages from the University of Dakar. Ordained a priest in 1964, he was consecrated a bishop on November 24, 1974. His motto, Ad quem ibimus. He was promoted to his current metropolitan see in the year 2000 and created a cardinal priest in the consistory of November 24, 2007. Cardinal Paolo Romeo is Archbishop of Palermo in Italy. Born in 1938, he earned a doctorate in canon law from the Lateran University. Ordained on March 18, 1961, he was consecrated a bishop on January 6, 1994, by Pope John Paul II. His motto, Caritas Omnia Sostinet. He was transferred to the Metropolitan See of Palermo on December 19, 2006, and created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 20th, 2010. Cardinal Romeo. Next is the great Cardinal Walter Kaspar, President Emeritus of the Pontifical Council of the Promotion of Christian Unity. Born March 5, 1933, he received a doctorate in theology from Tübingen. Ordained in 1957, he was elected bishop and consecrated by Pope John Paul II in 1989. His motto, Veritatem in Caritate. He was promoted to his final position in 1999 and created Cardinal Deacon in 2001, but promoted to the order of Cardinal Priest in the consistory of February 21, 2011. This is Cardinal Josip Bozanic, Archbishop of Zagreb, Croatia. Born in 1949, he received the doctorate in dogmatic theology from the Gregorian University. He was ordained June 29, 1975, and consecrated 14 years later in 1989. He was promoted to his current metropolitan see in 1997, and subsequently was created cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21st, 2003, Cardinal Bozanic. This is Cardinal Laurent Monsengwo Passigna, Archbishop of Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. Born in 1939, he studied under Father Carlo Maria Martini at the Pontifical Biblical Institute in Jerusalem. Ordained a priest in 1963, he was consecrated a bishop by Pope John Paul II in 1980. He was named co-president of Pax Christi International in 2007 and transferred to his current see that same year. Created a cardinal priest in 2010. Papabile alert! It's Cardinal Marc Ouellet of the Priestly Society of St. Sulpice, prefect of the Congregation for Bishops and president of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America. Born June 8, 1944 in La Motte, Canada, he received the doctorate in dogmatic theology in 1983 from the Gregorian University. Speaking French, English, German, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish, he was ordained a priest in 1968 and entered the Society of St. Sulpice in 1972. He was elected titular bishop of Agropoli and appointed secretary of the Pontifical Council for the Promotion of Christian Unity in 2001 and consecrated March 19th of that year by Pope John Paul II. His episcopal motto is Ut Unum Sint. He is a member of the editorial board of the North American edition of the theological journal Communio. Promoted to the Metropolitan and Primatial See of Quebec on November 15, 2002, and took possession of that see the following year. He received the pallium from Pope John Paul II on June 29, 2003, at the Vatican Basilica. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003, and named to his current post on June 30, 2010, resigning from pastoral government of the Archdiocese of Quebec on June 30th of that year. Cardinal Ouellet. Cardinal Claudio Humes of the Franciscan Order of Friars Minor is prefect emeritus of the Congregation for the Clergy. Born in 1934, he joined the Franciscans in 1952, professing in 1956. He received the doctorate in philosophy from the Athenaeum. Ordained a priest in 1958, he was consecrated a bishop in 1975 and transferred to Sao Paulo in 1998. Created a cardinal priest in 2001, he resigned the pastoral government of his diocese and named prefect for the Congregation of the Clergy in 2006. Cardinal Edwin O'Brien is the Grand Master of the Equestrian Order of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. Born in the Bronx in 1939, he obtained a doctorate in moral theology at the Angelicum in Rome. Ordained in 1965 at St. Patrick's by Francis Spellman, he was consecrated a bishop by Cardinal John O'Connor in the same church building, transferred to the Metropolitan See of Baltimore in 2007 and named to his current post in 2011. He was created Cardinal Deacon in the Consistory of February 2012. Cardinal Francisco Javier Ezariz of the Institute of the Fathers of Schoenstatt is Archbishop Emeritus of Santiago, Chile. Born 1933, he received a doctorate in theology from the State University of Fribourg in Switzerland. Ordained to the priesthood in July of 1961, he was consecrated a bishop by Pope John Paul II in 1991, transferred to the see of which he is retired in 1998, and became cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 2001. Paul Joseph Cordez is President Emeritus of the Pontifical Council Cor Unum. Born in 1934 in Germany, he was assistant to Professor Karl Lehmann, future cardinal, at the University of Mainz, where he was the first student to defend his thesis under the young professor. Ordained in 1961, he was consecrated a bishop in 1976. His motto, Deus Fidelis, appointed to his last post in 1995, and created cardinal deacon in the consistory of November 24, 2007. Cardinal Oswald Gracias is Archbishop of Bombay, India. Born December 24, 1944, he earned a doctorate in canon law from the Urbanian University in Rome. Ordained a presbyter in 1970, he was consecrated a bishop in 1997. His episcopal motto, to reconcile all things in Christ. Promoted to the Metropolitan See of Agra in 2000 and transferred to his current see in 2006, he was created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 24th, 2007. Here is Cardinal Jean-Pierre Ricard, Archbishop of Bordeaux in France. Born September 25, 1944, he received his licentiate in theology from the Institut Catholique de Paris. Ordained in 1968, he was consecrated a bishop on June 6, 1993. His episcopal motto, Propter Evangelium, promoted to his current see on December 21, 2001, and created a cardinal priest in the consistory of March 24th, 2006. Cardinal Ricard. Cardinal Stanislav Rilko is president of the Pontifical Council for the Laity. Born July 4, 1945 in Poland, he earned a doctorate in social sciences from the Gregorian. Ordained by Cardinal Karol Wojtyła in 1969, he was consecrated a bishop by the same man in January 1996. His episcopal motto, Lux Meo Christus, named president of the Pontifical Council for the Laity in 2003, and named cardinal deacon in the consistory of November 24, 2007. Cardinal Daniel DiNardo is Archbishop of Galveston, Houston in the United States. Born May 23, 1949 in Steubenville, he studied patrology at the Augustinianum in Rome. Ordained in 1977, he was consecrated a bishop in 1997. He succeeded to the Metropolitan See of Galveston, Houston in February of 2006. Then he was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of November 24, 2007. Cardinal Daniel DiNardo. Here is Cardinal Robert Sarrat, President of the Pontifical Council Cor Unum. Born in Guinea in 1945, he studied at the Gregorian University and the Biblicum Franciscanum of Jerusalem. Ordained a priest in 1969, he was consecrated a bishop in 1979, named to his current role on October 7, 2010, and then the following month created cardinal deacon in the consistory of November 20, 2010. Cardinal Robert Sarrat. Now here is Cardinal Polycarp Pengo, Archbishop of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Born in 1944, he received the doctorate in moral theology from the Pontifical Lateran University in Rome. Ordained a priest in 1971, he was consecrated a bishop in 1984 by Pope John Paul II. He succeeded to his Metropolitan See in 1992 and was created a cardinal priest in February of 1998. Cardinal Polycarp Pengo. Papabile alert! Cardinal Leonardo Sandri, prefect of the Congregation for the Oriental Churches. Born November 18, 1943 in Buenos Aires, he received the doctorate in canon law from the Gregorian University in Rome and was ordained to the priesthood in 1967. He was consecrated a bishop on October 11, 1997 by Cardinal Angelo Sodano. He took as his episcopal motto, Ille Fides. He was named the substitute for General Affairs of the Secretariat of State on September 16th in the year 2000 and read the messages of Pope John Paul II when the Holy Father could not read them himself because of his illness. He announced to the world the death of Pope John Paul II on April 2, 2005 from St. Peter's Square. He was named prefect of the Congregation for the Oriental Churches on June 9, 2007, and created a cardinal in the consistory of 2007. Next is Cardinal Geraldo Maieja Agnello, Archbishop Emeritus of São Salvador de Bahia, Brazil. Born in 1933, he received the doctorate in sacred liturgy from the Athenaeum. Ordained June 27, 1957, and consecrated August 6, 1978, he was transferred to the Metropolitan See of São Salvador de Bahia in 1999 and created cardinal priest in February 2001. This is Cardinal Attilio Nicora, President of the Financial Information Authority and President Emeritus of the Administration of the Patrimony of the Apostolic See. Born in 1937 in Milan, he was receiving the licentiate at the Gregorian University and licentiate in theology at the Theological Faculty of Milan, ordained a priest in 1964, consecrated a bishop in 1977, and was created a cardinal deacon in the consistory of October 2003, named the president of his current position in 2011. Here is Cardinal Godfrey Daniels, Archbishop Emeritus of Mechelen, Brussels, in Belgium. Born in 1933, he earned a doctorate in theology at the Gregorian University and was ordained a priest in 1957, was consecrated a bishop in 1977 by Cardinal Leo Suenens. He was promoted to his metropolitan see in 1979. He was created a cardinal priest in 1983, but after his retirement has been interrogated by Belgian courts concerning his knowledge about priestly sexual abuse of minors. This is Cardinal James Harvey, Archpriest of the Papal Basilica of St. Paolo Fuori le Mura. Born in 1949 in Milwaukee, he earned a doctorate in canon law from the Gregorian University. Ordained by Pope Paul VI in 1975, he was consecrated a bishop on March 19, 1998 by Pope John Paul II. He was named to his current role in November of 2012 and created a cardinal deacon only one day later in the consistory of November 24, 2012. Cardinal Agostino Vallini is Vicar General of His Holiness for the Diocese of Rome, Archpriest of the Papal Lateran Basilica, and Grand Chancellor of the Pontifical Lateran University. Born in 1940 in Italy, he received a doctorate in both canon and civil law from the Lateran University. Ordained in 1964, he was consecrated in 1989. Named to Prefect of the Supreme Tribunal in 2004, created a Cardinal Deacon in 2006, and named to his current position in 2009. Promoted to Order of Cardinal Priest in 2009. Here is Cardinal Giuseppe Versaldi, President of the Prefecture for the Economic Affairs of the Holy See. Born in 1943 in Italy, he obtained the licentiate in psychology and a doctorate in canon law from the Gregorian. Ordained a priest in 1967, he was consecrated a bishop in 2007. His motto, Christi Minister. Named President of the Prefecture for the Economic Affairs of the Holy See and promoted to dignity of Archbishop in 2010. Named Cardinal Deacon in February of 2012. This is Cardinal Juan Luis Cipriani, Archbishop of Lima, Peru. Born in 1943, he received a doctorate in industrial engineering and then played basketball for the Peruvian national team for a number of years. He joined the Sacerdotal Society of the Holy Cross and Opus Dei in 1962, and finally earned doctorates in philosophy and theology. Ordained in 1977 and consecrated bishop in 1988, he was created cardinal priest in February of 2001. Cardinal Cipriani. Cardinal Antonios Naguib is Patriarch Emeritus of Alexandria of the Copts in Egypt. Born March 18, 1935, he obtained the licentiate in theology and a diploma in religious sociology in 1962. Ordained a priest in 1960, he was consecrated a bishop in 1977. He was elected Patriarch of Alexandria of the Copts in March of 2006, and Pope Benedict granted him ecclesiastical communio in that same year. He was created Cardinal Patriarch in the consistory of November 20th, 2010. Papabile alert! Cardinal Christoph Schönborn of the Order of Preachers is Archbishop of Vienna, Austria. Born January 22, 1945 in Czechoslovakia, he joined the Order of Preachers in 1963 and studied in Paris, where he earned the doctorate in theology and completed the habilitation at the Sorbonne in Paris. Ordained a priest in 1970 by Cardinal Franz Koenig, Archbishop of Vienna, he was secretary of the Commission of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith to edit the new Catechism of the Catholic Church from 1987 to 92. He was elected titular bishop of Sutri and appointed auxiliary of Vienna in 1991 and consecrated in September of that year. His motto is Vox autem dixi amicos. He was promoted to Archbishop Coadjutor with right of succession of Vienna in 1995 and succeeded that see in September of that year. He is the ordinary for the Byzantine Rite faithful residing in Austria since 1995. He preached the spiritual exercises for the Pope and the Roman Curia in Lent of 1996. He is almoner of the Knights of Austrian Order of the Golden Fleece. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 1998, and has been president of the Austrian Episcopal Conference since that year. Cardinal Christoph Schönborn of the Order of Preachers. As you know, all Catholic males who are single have the ability to become pope For instance, Francis Arinze or Archbishop Gerhard Müller. Now we see a picture of the Council Fathers at the Second Vatican Council. Any unmarried male can attain the position of Holy Father. For instance, Adolfo Nicolas, Superior General of the Jesuits, or Father Joseph McShane, President of Fordham University, or perhaps Reverend Mark Massa, a Jesuit and Dean of Boston College's School of Theology and Ministry, or the great Father Daniel Berrigan, the 91-year-old Jesuit living in New York. Jim Martin of America Magazine fame. But Stephen Colbert and Martin Sheen are both ineligible due to their nuptials. Cardinal Rainer Maria Woelki is Archbishop of Berlin, Germany. Born in 1956, he obtained a doctorate in theology at the Pontificia Università della Santa Croce of Opus Dei in Rome. Ordained a priest in 1985, he was consecrated a bishop in 2003. On July 2, 2011, he was promoted to the Metropolitan See of Berlin after his election by the High Metropolitan Chamber of Berlin. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 18, 2012. Cardinal Raimundo Damasceno Assis is Archbishop of Aparecida, Brazil. Born in 1937, he did postgraduate studies in philosophy of science at University of Brasilia and the Pontifical Catholic University of Minas Gerais. Ordained March 19, 1968, the Feast of St. Joseph, he was consecrated a bishop in September of 1986, promoted to the Metropolitan See that he currently holds in 2004. He was finally created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 20th, 2010. Cardinal Audris Juozas Bačkis is Archbishop of Vilnius, Lithuania. Born in 1937, he earned a doctorate in canon law at the Pontifical Lateran University. Ordained on March 18, 1961, he was consecrated in 1988 by Pope John Paul II. He was transferred to the current Metropolitan See that he holds in 1992. Finally, he was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 2001. Cardinal Bačkis. Papabile alert! Cardinal Oscar Rodriguez Maradiaga of the Salesian Society of Don Bosco is Archbishop of Tegucigalpa in Honduras. Born in 1942, he joined the Pious Society of St. Francis de Sales, the Salesians, and was sent to El Salvador to initiate his formation. He made solemn profession on May 3, 1961, and his educational record is quite stellar. He received the doctorate in philosophy from the Institute Don Rua in San Salvador, the doctorate in theology from the Athenaeum in Rome. He was incorporated to the faculty of the Lateran University at the Alfonsian Academy, and received the doctorate in moral theology in 1960. Received a diploma in clinical psychology and psychotherapy from the University of Innsbruck, and speaks a number of languages. He was ordained a priest in 1970 and consecrated a bishop in 1978. His motto is Mihi Vivere Christus Est, promoted to his current see on January 8, 1993. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of February 21, 2001, and on June 5, 2007 was elected president of Caritas Internationalis by the Confederation members at their 18th General Assembly in Vatican City. Here is Cardinal Jean-Baptiste Pham Minh Man, Archbishop of Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. Born in 1934, he received the Masters of Education at Loyola Marymount in California. Ordained a priest in 1965, he was elected and consecrated bishop in 1993 and promoted to his current Metropolitan See on March 1, 1998. He was created a cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. This is Cardinal Pham Minh Man. Here is Cardinal Giuseppe Bettore, Archbishop of Florence. Born in Foligno, Italy in 1947, he did postgraduate studies in sacred scripture at the Pontifical Biblical Institute, earning a doctorate summa cum laude. Ordained a priest in 1970, he was consecrated a bishop in May of 2001. He was promoted to his current metropolitan see in September of 2008, and finally created a cardinal priest in the consistory of February 18th, 2012. Cardinal Bettori. Papabile alerts. Cardinal Odilo Pedro Scherer, Archbishop of Sao Paulo, Brazil, was born in 1949 in Brazil. He was educated at the Gregorian University, where he obtained a licentiate in philosophy and doctorate in theology. Ordained to the presbyterate on December 7, 1976, he became professor of philosophy at the State University Center of Toledo and director and professor of theology at the Interdiocesan Theological Center of Cascavel. He was consecrated a bishop at the Cathedral of Cristo Rey, Toledo on February 2, 2002, and his motto is In Meam Commemorationem. He was promoted to his current see on March 21, 2007. His cardinalate began on November 24, 2007. He attended the 12th Ordinary General Assembly of the Synod of Bishops in Vatican City in 2008 and was elected member of the 12th Council of the General Secretariat of the Synod of Bishops in October 22nd of 2008. Next is Cardinal Justin Regali, Archbishop Emeritus of Philadelphia. Born in 1935 in Los Angeles, he received a doctorate in canon law from the Gregorian. He was ordained a priest in 1961 and consecrated a bishop by Pope John Paul II in 1985. He was transferred to the Metropolitan See of St. Louis in 1994 and then to Philadelphia in 2003. He was finally created cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. Cardinal Julio Terrazas Sandoval of the Congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer is Archbishop of Santa Cruz de la Sierra in Bolivia. Born in 1936, he joined his congregation in 1952, making solemn profession in 1957. He was ordained a priest in 1962 and was then superior of his religious community in Valagrande. Consecrated a bishop in 1978, his motto is Servidor de Todos. Promoted to his current metropolitan see in 1991, he was finally created a cardinal priest in 2001. Here is Cardinal Jaime Lucas Ortega y Alamino, Archbishop of San Cristobal de La Habana, Cuba. Born in 1936, he studied in the Seminary of Priests of Foreign Missions in Quebec, Canada from 1960 to 64. He was ordained a priest in 1964 and then consecrated a bishop in 1979. His motto, Sufficit tibi gratia mea, promoted to his current metropolitan see in 1981, and then created cardinal priest in the consistory of November 26, 1994. Cardinal George Pell is Archbishop of Sydney, Australia. Born in 1941, he received a doctorate in church history from Oxford University and was a visiting scholar at Campion Hall. He was ordained a priest in 1966 and consecrated a bishop in 1987. His motto, Be not afraid, transported to Melbourne in 1996 and then finally to Sydney in 2001. He was created cardinal priest in the consistory of October 21, 2003. Cardinal Pell. Cardinal John Onaiyekan is Archbishop of Abuja, Nigeria. Born in 1944, he obtained a doctorate in theology from the Pontifical Urbanian University. Ordained a priest in 1969, he was consecrated bishop in 1983 by Pope John Paul II. His motto, Fiat voluntas tuas. He was transferred to the See of Ilorin in 1984 and appointed coadjutor of Abuja in 1990. He succeeded that see in 1992 and was elevated to Metropolitan Archbishop in 1995. He was created cardinal priest in 2012. Lastly is Cardinal Ennio Antonelli, President Emeritus of the Pontifical Council for the Family. Born in 1936, he earned a doctorate in classical letters at the State University of Perugia. Ordained in 1960, consecrated in 1982, transferred to his final metropolitan see in 2001, which he occupied until 2008, created cardinal priest in 2003, and in 2008 appointed president of the position from which he resigned in 2012.